Want to stop juggling spreadsheets, calendars, and a dozen apps just to run your rentals? Logify makes it easy. It's an all-in-one toolkit for hosts. Build a direct booking website, automate guest messaging, and keep all your channels in sync. Running your rental business your way has never been simpler. And for Good Morning Hospitality listeners, you can get 20% off any yearly plan with code GMH20. Just check the link in the show notes to get started today.
Good morning, hospitality listeners, because I am excited. This is one of your hosts, Will Slickers, and this is a special bonus episode from my time at TravelNet Solutions conference called Next. Now, I was in Minneapolis and it was a great time. Unfortunately, I wasn't joined by either of my co-hosts, but we had such a good opportunity to get to meet some of the users of Track and TravelNet softwares internally. It was such a great user conference. The food was amazing, and it was just awesome to be in person with our partners once again. So what you're going to hear in this bonus episode is a compilation of micro interviews that I did while at the conference. I got to go around to different vendors and, of course, different property managers to hear their stories, to hear what's new, what's happening, and to ask some questions around what they're seeing at this user conference and what they're all excited to talk about. So enjoy this bonus episode number 1 as we dive in and have a compilation episode for you. Make sure you check the show notes to see who these special guests are and make sure that you connect with them, whether it's LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, all the above. We love having these interviews and these opportunities to speak at conferences and to meet so many great listeners and fans and, of course, partners in person. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you all again on the next one.
Welcome to Good Morning Hospitality, your one-stop shop for the latest news, noteworthy trends, and thought-provoking discussions across the industry. From hotels and short-term rentals to all things travel and hospitality, you'll find each episode equips you with the information that you need to start your week. Join us on Good Morning Hospitality every Monday, wherever you get your podcasts.
What's up, everybody? We are back. We are here at Next, and I'm here with the one and only Arthur Kolker, who is the founder and CEO of StayFi. And man, it's been a long time since you and I have actually got to do this.
I think I did my first podcast with you probably 6 months into starting StayFi. So that was a long time ago.
A great interview. That was before COVID, right?
Yeah, before.
Yeah, it was. Holy crap. Time is flying.
Yes.
Lots changed.
Definitely.
So kind of give me high level view what's happened since we had that last interview, which was years and years ago.
So basically since then, StayFi, which started out as a guest data collection tool, has evolved into a full guest marketing suite of tools.
Gotcha.
So not only do we collect guest data, we have email marketing, text marketing, and other ways to engage guests to make sure they know your brand, not the other big OTAs.
So a lot of people, this is going to be a bold question, so get ready, Arthur.
Yeah.
A lot of people are kind of maybe sometimes afraid to go after the OTAs. You're not. So
break free from Airbnb, you know?
You said it.
I think Airbnb was going to send me a cease and desist soon. That's fine. I look forward to that. That'd be great publicity.
So you want property managers to be completely off Airbnb and Vrbo?
No.
Okay. So
that's just the fun marketing.
Yeah.
But I say for us, list everywhere, but with every person that comes through your door, make sure they leave, no matter who they book with, they leave knowing your brand and the value you're creating so that they come back to you directly for every other stay in the future. And you're only paying that OTA fee one time to acquire those guests.
So another fun question I like asking anyone who talks about direct bookings, what does direct mean to you? What's a form of direct outside of like my website? Can I get booked a phone call via text?
Text, phone call, email. We have clients that do direct bookings that don't even have a website yet.
Oh, wow.
A lot of it is
how is that possible?
They just, send them a rental agreement and then they pay them through whatever their payment processor is. Because at the end of the day, it's like they're developing a personal one-on-one relationship with the guest.
Yeah.
That's typically a smaller operator, obviously. But, we see people have a lot of success with those, not just the website channel.
Okay. Interesting. So that's been a big update for you guys. Multiple products, multiple services.
Yep.
Now, I guess since that we're at Next, what's next for StayFi? Is there a big next, or are you guys just here to learn and talk to customers and keep your pulse on the lifeline of the business?
I mean, Next is a great conference because everyone here is an enterprise property manager.
Yeah.
So we're dealing with customers that are very sophisticated. And it's always great to both see people who are already StayFi customers and then, of course, to network with hopefully people that will be future StayFi customers.
Yes.
And you're seeing kind of bigger trends in the industry play out here just because there's so many property managers with 500 and 1,000 plus units that are really kind of educating you about the trends in their particular market or markets.
Yeah. Well, and you guys get to see and have a lot of data around this type of stuff. So do you ever feel like you're getting a question from them? Are they ever asking you what you're seeing, what you're feeling and hearing out there in the world?
Not yet, but I feel like we haven't really pushed that from a content marketing perspective. We
Yeah.
haven't released a round of data that we see on our end. But to give you some perspective, like we've had over 2 million guests use our product in short-term rentals.
Wow.
So at a certain point, I think the scale that we have will give us some insights in terms of, where are we seeing more bookings? Where are we seeing large group travel, small group travel? Just because we can see live in every single vacation rental where we are, who's there and how many people are there and how long they're staying there.
So I did a fun interview with Ryan Bailey. We talked about building tech and, how do property managers decide to buy, build, all this other stuff. For you as a tech entrepreneur in our space, what is the biggest, I guess, aha moment or secret behind building tech for this industry?
Oh my God, that is a difficult question. I would say this industry is all about figuring out if you want to build something, figuring out what the MVP, the minimally viable product is
Yeah.
for whatever you want to do, because that just gives you a lot more ability to test. I feel like the people that really flame out or are here and then not here are people that spend a lot of money building something in secret and private. And then it's like this behemoth they bring to market and it's way too complicated. I think for short-term rentals, simplicity for us is number one.
Yeah.
Like our product takes 10 minutes to set up. That's as much time as someone's going to invest, especially for the non-core like property management software or pricing tool.
Yeah.
Everything else that's ancillary has to be simple and work 100% of the time, or else people are just going to, move on to the next thing and stop using your product.
Agreed. And a big thing that we've been saying throughout this conference is a lot of people got into this business for hospitality. They didn't get in to become a cleaner, a revenue manager, a maintenance person, a guest communications person, a Wi-Fi setup person, whatever you want to kind of title that. They came in to provide hospitality, and you guys can hopefully make that simpler. So that's great.
Yes, 100%.
Love it. Well, anything outside of being a tech entrepreneur, all the stuff that we talked about, what are you looking forward to get out of next as you're here?
I love talking to the other technology providers. I think that's where really some of the better partnerships we've developed have come from conferences. So whether it's partnering with website companies, email marketing agencies, property management software, whoever,
Yeah.
making our products more synergistic not only benefits each other in terms of mutual referrals, it also benefits the end customer at the end of the day. Since so many people use, like I saw this LinkedIn series of like name your tech stack and it's like 15 products. And I love when they see we're there, and that might seem overwhelming, but as long as these things all kind of work together in a cohesive manner, it can be, those partnerships are great. So
Yeah, I love that. I love it. Well, thank you for taking the time with me today.
Thanks,
It's
Will.
great to see you again.
Likewise.
And we'll definitely have to have you on more podcasts as we continue to go, but
working on it.
yeah, working on it.
Thanks, Will.
We'll see you at the next one. All right, Austin.
Okay.
So we are here at what conference?
We are at the Track Conference, the Next 2023.
Awesome.
That's
And
what it's called.
you've been with AutoHost for how long?
Just around 2.5 years now. It's
Awesome.
crazy how time flies.
We love the AutoHost team here at Hospitality FM, and we got to do some partnership stuff with our Barcelona Scale Rental
Yes.
show. But now we're here at Next, and we're going over all things TravelNet and technology. Basically, the whole theme is advancing tech.
Right.
So one of the big things in vacation rentals, especially as we're getting more and more remote, is screening your guests. So can it be a high level view of AutoHost, screening guests, and the
Sure.
thing that you guys focus on the most?
Yeah, of course. So when it comes to guest screening, AutoHost is really an intelligent guest screening platform. The idea here is to really understand who property managers are letting into their properties, giving them a lot more visibility and control over, really who's coming into their properties. So what that means is getting them to go through a flow, collecting some information, basic stuff like ID collection or maybe even credit card, like security deposits, but really putting all that together into a risk profile.
Okay.
That really helps us understand who this guest is, what behavioral tendencies they might have to make sure that property managers are understanding who they're letting in, and they can stop problems like, unruly guests, fraud, chargebacks, and even more scary stuff like, sex offenders or sex trafficking. So it can be pretty freaky stuff, but that's what AutoHost is able to bring into this industry, is really that cybersecurity understanding, really looking under the hood and understanding who these guests are.
Yeah. One of the things that I've really liked, especially with Andrew McConnell, he mentions, a lot of us get into short-term rentals or hospitality to host and to be hospitable and to have good experience, not to be a tech entrepreneur and this and that and a cleaner and all the things that we have to do.
So many details.
Yeah. The peace of mind piece that AutoHost brings is really important.
Yeah.
Can you share with any of the listeners or subscribers today just on what type of peace of mind they can expect when it comes to screening and the importance behind it? Because I think it doesn't really matter until you have that one bad guest, that one bad experience. So how can you prevent that one bad experience is basically kind of the whole piece of it.
Well, exactly. It's a really good point. A lot of, property management companies, it's like, I'm in the Smoky Mountains. We have families coming to our spots. We don't really need to have like too intense guests.
Yeah.
And I totally understand. It's like, let's keep this process as clean, as easy as possible. Mm-hmm. And that's the goal, is really guest experience, making sure that the guest doesn't feel, pressed on different aspects, making sure that it's an easy flow to collect just basic information and it feels easy for them. So when we're looking at these risk profiles, a lot of the information we're collecting is very public. Mm-hmm. It's technically out there for the world to see.
Which is scary sometimes.
Right?
But it's good.
How much information is actually online, and that's, what our job is.
Yeah.
So really what AutoHost is doing is pulling all that information together, taking those, data points like an ID and correlating that information, making sure that, we have a clear understanding of who we're letting into the properties.
Yeah. It's really important. It's public, but it's gathering the information. It's also the hard part, right? So
and analyzing it. Right?
Yeah.
And when we're talking about, 100, 200, 500 properties, it becomes unmanageable to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Like even if it took 5 minutes to go through and understand a guest, like that's 5 minutes too much that these companies are dealing with. So when it comes to some of those guests, or some of those PMCs that are looking and saying, well, why do I need to really go into screening? Mm-hmm. We've seen a pretty scary uptick in these types of fraudsters that are looking at property management companies that don't have much screening at all. It's just kind of hoping and praying that the OTAs, like Airbnb, for example, has done their work.
Yeah.
But really, it's just a black box.
Yeah.
It's no one knows what's going on in there. And that can be scary to just kind of blindly trust that they've done their job. Because in the end, it's the owners, it's the property management companies that have to deal with these issues.
100%.
Right?
Well, what is the biggest misunderstanding when it comes to guest screening for you guys? What's the number one common question or misunderstanding?
I think the biggest one I'll see is a lot of property management companies, just like you said, they come into this industry to be hosts, to be hospitable. And they go, I don't want to bother my guests. I don't want to put any barriers in the way.
Yeah.
So a big thing that we're talking about at AutoHost is this is actually not a barrier, but an opportunity.
Yeah.
To show these guests that you are a professional, well-seasoned company that understands the risks of the industry. This is great for owners as well, making sure that your owners are seeing how you're protecting their properties, right? Knocking on a new owner's door saying, hey, owner, we all know you're going to make money in this industry with your property. Let's put that aside and talk about how we're going to protect your properties. How are you going to take your investment and make sure it's making money for you for years to come instead of trash from, one terrible party and, you're burned and you don't want to do this anymore.
100%.
So that's a big thing. Using the guest screening is a way to learn more about your guests and change that experience.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe a guest is coming in for, what's it called? Like an anniversary. Even just the little thing of having a bottle of champagne or something.
Yeah.
Welcome to the place. Congratulations on your anniversary. Those are the guest, improvements that AutoHost can help collect right before the stay's happening.
Yeah, I love that. And one of the big things I've been really loving in business in general, right, is it's great to start a business, but it's even better to stay in business.
Ooh, that's good.
And so as you're talking, I'm hearing, it's great you're going to make money in this industry.
Yes.
But it's good to make money for a long term, not a short term.
Yeah.
Even though we are the short term rental industry, but it's more of, staying in business. And you guys are definitely a tool to help people stay in business.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times when you're growing and scaling, when you have 40 or 50 properties,
Yeah.
you can manage it. You can figure it out. When, problems happen, it's one and few far between.
For sure.
When you start, really scaling and ramping up your property count, that one chargeback a month turns into 4 chargebacks to 10,
Yeah.
right? These are the problems when they start to compound, and then you are deep in the weeds of a, rapidly growing business without the tools in place to help that grow. So that's a big thing that we're able to help with.
I love it. Well, it's great to chat with you
Yeah.
at the next conference here in Minneapolis.
Excited.
I know we'll be seeing a lot more of you guys on our show and
Yeah.
within other podcasts in the network, but just thankful that you took the time with me today.
Yeah, no, appreciate it, Will. Thank
Of
you
course.
so much. We'll talk soon.
All right. We are here with the one and only Steve Trover, who is not only a good friend of the podcast, but a good friend in general and a good mentor to me. I'm excited to have you here. Good to see you
Thank you,
again.
Will. Yeah, great to be here. Great to get to speak to you today.
You're a hard man to spot with that white hat.
Oh,
You
no,
know that,
yeah. I
right?
try to hide.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I was going to say, okay, so we are at Next. We are in Minneapolis. We are with Sojo, who is a great customer of
Yep.
Better Talent. They're a good sponsor of ours. I'm curious for you, what is the kind of conversation around employee or founder burnout
Yes.
and how people are kind of preventing this within their cultures and within the vacation rental industry as a whole? It's a very busy one, as you know. So I'm curious just around this.
I think probably the biggest thing that's happened from COVID is more burnout than ever before. We went from, shut down for a very short period of time to boom for a couple of years anyways. And the burnout is real.
Yeah.
How are they avoiding it? Well, I think it's really critical that organizations make sure that they meet offsite on a regular basis, doing offsite. So we encourage that within the teams. Really having a culture of fun, I think, is a key part. Even at Better Talent, we really focus on the fun aspects of it so that we're kind of getting through the hard parts and not getting bored in the day to day.
Makes the hard parts a little bit more enjoyable.
Yeah, exactly.
Or maybe
You get
not
through it
enjoyable
when
is a
you're
good
having
word.
some
but
fun.
yeah.
So fun is key. Offsites are key. Getting out of the day to day is really, really important. Making sure that you're listening to the team, having those one-on-one conversations on a regular basis as well. So
My biggest question is, no one's told me this on a regular basis. What does that mean? Is that weekly, biweekly, monthly? What type of regular basis does it actually go into?
I'm a big believer in something called EOS, or the Entrepreneurial Operating System, out of the book called Traction.
Yep.
And within EOS, there's a meeting structure, and you have a weekly level 10 meeting.
Okay.
One-on-ones, depending on how many people that you have direct reports, also once a week with the leader of that individual. And then quarterly offsites. The quarterly offsites are exceptionally important for that leadership team to meet and really drive the direction of the company together, but also have fun together as well.
Yeah.
So really weekly, maybe bi-weekly or weekly with those one-to-ones. The visionary and the COO and the CEO, or the visionary and the integrator, should meet on a weekly basis as well. It's called a same page meeting.
Okay.
So that's kind of my preferred meeting structure, but everybody does it different ways, right? So,
Yeah. And it's also taking the time to figure out how to set aside the time as a vacation rental manager that you're running around with all your properties, your teams, all
easy
the
to
stuff.
say, hard to do in the season, especially. So when it's going, but making sure that those meetings are productive too is really important. The right meeting structure. There's a book called Death by Meeting that I recommend from Patrick Lencioni that talks about the structure and EOS, but I can't recommend it, making sure that, because people hate meetings that are not productive.
Yeah.
So
100%. Okay. So the number one question I've been asking everybody here at Next is kind of, what's your biggest want to takeaway type deal? Like, what are you looking for to get out of this conference, especially as it's a user conference, right? So you get to meet a lot of people that are with TravelNet Solutions on Track or Atlas or any of their softwares. What's your kind of big takeaway for the conference that you're looking for?
What I do when I come here, and I'm unique in the sense that we have a 15-person team and I'm still the primary person doing sales.
Yeah.
The reason I do that is I want to hear those pain points. So my takeaway is, what are your current pain points as it pertains to your people? How can we assist? How can we help? What tools can we provide? What services that we could provide?
Yeah.
So I'm just learning every conversation. So
Yeah. I love it. You're just putting a pulse on it.
exactly.
I love it. Well, appreciate you taking the time. This is one of many interviews that we've gotten to do together. I know there's going to be more, but just excited to be here at Next, and thanks for chatting.
Thanks for chatting with me.
Of course.
Take care.
All right, everybody, we are here with our next interview here at Next. Got the dad joke of the day in, but with two amazing guys. Got Brooke Fotz, and then of course you have Jacoby Olin, and we are going to talk. I actually want to pick Jacoby's brain. You were not in part of the book that was just recently released, but you get to work with so many vacation rental managers, especially that are customers of Vintory. I want to know, do you have 10 secrets that you've learned through your experience going through M&A and all the other activities that you guys do?
Oh my God. Good question. Good question. Yeah, there is a lot of things that we've seen. I think one of the unique things about our industry is that there's not a college for short-term rentals or for vacation rentals. So this industry is just filled with entrepreneurs that fell into the industry one way or the other and have created their company, their systems and processes, their financials, their operations just by what works for them. And our industry is so much of a vacuum of that. So when we look at 10 companies, we're seeing 10 completely different ways of running the businesses.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. It's also kind of wild when we see that from the front end. But going just some like mistakes and some things that people can focus on is like, it really comes down to the financials. So really, most of these companies, maybe the owners are not finance majors or accounting majors, which is fine.
Yeah.
But you do need to have someone on your team or outsourced early on that's going to be taking care of the books, looking at them, measuring them, and going over those at least on a monthly basis. So that's number one. Number two is the assets of these companies. The like true assets of these entire companies are these contracts with these homeowners. Plug to Vintory.
Yeah.
and really taking a proactive approach of understanding, setting goals to where you want to be at the end of the year, what quality of inventory you're going to have, and then measuring them and focusing on them and realizing, keeping track of who's going off program, what's the reason, all that good stuff. And those are two of the most important things or mistakes I see companies making.
Makes sense.
Well, wouldn't it also be, Jacoby, I know a big part of it is having your contracts in order in advance, right? Making sure those contracts are in a good place, they're assignable. Do you have a couple little hints for the contract?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thanks for the plug. The legal aspect is also incredibly important for these companies, which is the most boring part of this. But these contracts with these homeowners, like at some point you're either going to potentially sell or give the company away to a child or your employees, or you just want to also protect against the potential liability of a lawsuit or anything like that. So like having an attorney that's done work in this industry take a look and help with that, or going to a consulting firm and talking about kind of what are some industry best practices for language that needs to be in there. And that includes auto renewals, that includes owner hooks, that includes assignability. There's a couple that every contract needs to have. And then knowing that every contract will be a little bit different based on like what market or what state these people are in.
Yeah, totally makes sense. Brooke, do you have anything to add? Because you're the master behind the contract of that is where a lot of these companies get value.
Yeah.
And that's where the price is.
I'd say first off, hire Jacoby in advance. Let him look at your books. Let him look at your contracts, making sure they're kind of in a good place. And then set the goal. Like, where do you want to be? What's the exit price? He can tell you pretty closely, realistically, where you need to be based on that exit valuation. At that point, it's set a goal, talk to companies like Vintory, and then like help us, get to that point. Because you see, inventory is the greatest lever you can pull that has the greatest impact to top line revenues, bottom line profits, and building net worth. I know, Jacoby, you did some stats last year, looking across all your deals, over $200 million in valuations, right? And exits.
Yep.
Right. What was the average contract value?
So the average one was about $32,000 sold across. And there's incredible metrics that Brooke knows, that I know, that we walk through. Like every contract you're bringing on is bringing X amount to your bottom line, typically 10-ish% of the annualized rents, and then multiplying that times a multiple. Like it is really cool to see quickly back a napkin kind of what that is increasing the value of your business, whether you're looking to sell it or if you would just want to keep growing it and maximizing the value. It's pretty amazing.
We had a partner sell last year, and in the last 30 days, they added enough inventory that literally added $1 million to their exit price. So just because we accelerated the closings, we accelerated the deals, they literally added $1 million to the bottom line.
Well, I know you were showing me some new tools under the hood of inventory, which we will get to. I'm going to do a one-on-one with Brooke and kind of peek under, but it sounds like that the more that these companies are exiting and advancing and getting a better sales price, the more you guys are able to build and help further that, not just with existing products and offerings, but continued innovation and growth. So it's exciting. Well, you heard it here first, and I'm curious for you guys, what is one thing you're looking forward to here at Next?
Looking forward to bowling a perfect game tomorrow night.
All right, he got the funny answer. It's all about networking. I mean, what I love about these kind of conferences is I met a gentleman last night, and he's probably one of the smartest guys I've ever met in my life. This is his second conference in our industry. I've never heard of him before. I've never heard of his company before. He's got an incredible business, and he is so wicked smart. And this is literally, like I said, the second conference, and it's the first time I've ever met him. So you think that like you've met everybody, you think it's all like the same people, but then you have these things. But again, this was 10 o'clock at the bar last night. And those are the best connections, the best networking, the best learning lessons I ever get. Tell my wife this, are usually at the bar. So that's it.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for taking the time to chat with me today. And of course, we'll be seeing a lot more of you both.
Okay.
I know we will.
Thanks, Will.
Thank you.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. We are at Next, and I have the one and only Andrew McConnell, the legend, who has not only founded Rented, but has now sold it off into the TravelNet Solutions team. And you are just living life. You're thriving.
I am enjoying the life that I live. Yes.
Yes.
It's been pretty good.
Well, we've had you on the podcast a couple times, and this is a fun, exciting one because we're here specifically just to cover the Next conference with TravelNet. And you guys are a big part of their story now, as you're one of 2 or 3 acquisitions?
Yeah, the biggest one.
Yeah.
And I think one of 2. So they did Gueststream, which is
Yes.
now Atlas.
Yeah. So how does it feel to be on the other side?
It feels great. This is my first Next. I've
Okay.
never actually come to Next before, and it's so well done. It's bigger than I expected. The whole vendor sugar, like all of it is,
The food's good.
the food's really good. Carly is on with the food. She's like, oh, and then we'll have this avocado toast bar. Like she thinks about the food really well.
100%. And there's chips and salsa out here now. We're getting a
Yeah,
snack. We're
yeah.
getting snacks and food. So it's pretty good.
Substantial snacks, yeah.
So kind of tell me, I think every entrepreneur founder's dream, right, is to go through an acquisition or some kind of exit, right? And you've gotten to live that through what just happened with Rented. And I'm just curious, what does the life look like on the other side now that you guys get to continue to grow?
I'm sure you'll be shocked to know this, but I think the biggest part is mindset.
Mindset, yeah.
Mindset. Because I've had so many friends sell their business
Yeah.
to big Fortune 50 companies, whatever it is, and they hate their lives. They're absolutely miserable. And a lot of times it comes back to 2 things. One, it's their baby.
Yeah.
And it's like the death of their baby. 1. And then 2, they're used to doing everything they want to do and not having to listen to anybody else. And it's different when you go somewhere else. And as I kept trying to tell my team over and over, 2 things. 1, I have a child.
Yeah.
This company is not my child. This
Yeah.
company is a capitalist endeavor. Like
Yeah.
we deliver for our clients, we build a great team, but it is not a living human being. Like that came off my plate there. But then the other side is there's a reason they bought us and we didn't buy them.
Yeah.
Right. They have been successful in some ways that we have not, that we can learn so much. They can learn some stuff from us, but we can learn a lot from them.
For sure.
And so if you take this as an opportunity to learn, then it's incredibly exciting time. Right. And so for me, you see Ryan, like it gets me juiced.
Yeah.
Right. Like the guy's great. He's done a lot of
He's
amazing
awesome.
things. I love to learn from him. Frankie's scaled so many companies, like just the team they pulled together. It's really been better than we drew it up before we did the deal.
Yeah. Well, we got to do the exclusive interview with Ryan Bailey the day that it was all announced. And the exciting piece was, just kind of asking him like, hey, like what was so enticing about Rented, right? And the number one thing I think I've gotten to take away from Ryan the 2 times we've interviewed him is he keeps mentioning the team, the people, and it rarely does he mention the product. It's like, no, the team, the people are great. And like that has shown through from what I've seen, getting to know the TravelNet team, getting to know the Rented team prior and post. So for you, what was kind of like the matchmaking heaven type deal when it came to TravelNet being the one to get you guys.
Yeah, we talked to a lot of people. We engaged a banker. We were looking at a lot of different deals, pure financial deals or through strategic side. And for me, it was the people, right? One, it was the people, but then two, transparency was also the product. I was looking at the clients we were serving. I was looking at where the market was going with more consolidation, bigger companies. Where were all the big companies going? And who was getting the highest reviews? How is everybody doing? And they were all going to Track.
Yeah.
So, well, okay, if I'm going to tie my ship to someone else's sail, I want to go the one with the most win in their sales. And right now, that is Track. They are building the enterprise solution for the future. That's where we see our future. Let's do it together, do it better together.
How does it feel to see the Rented logo go from blue to purple?
To purple. I mean, the first time I saw it, I was like, that's kind of hot. Like, I like that. I like that
purple's
purple.
actually my color. Yeah.
It's my daughter's, I would probably second favorite. Turquoise is her favorite,
Okay.
but she likes purple, so she's happy with the deal.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations again. It's really good to just see we love watching the amount of funding coming in the industry, but then also the industry growing through acquisition. I think it's so smart. We're going to continue to see it. And I'm glad that you were on that side of the table.
Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I really, I say it all the time to you, but so enjoyed from the early days of Slick Talk to the empire that you're building with Hospitality FM. Like, it's really inspiring to see, and love having you in the industry.
Yeah. Well, great time. We are asking everybody, what is your main want or takeaway that you are expecting from this conference? What are you here for in the sense of, is it the education? Is it the networking? What piece of Next, especially being your first one, are you looking to get out of this?
Yeah, it's mostly for me hearing from clients. So it's one thing, we all do the Zoom and do the back and forth, but to really sit down with them and hear what are the pain points. Because a lot of times they went through the onboarding and then, oh, I have this pain point. You're like, oh, did you remember you could do this thing? And that, like, oh my God, that saves me 10x the time. Like, great. And those don't always come up when you're virtual. So that just the connecting in person has been really, really valuable so far.
Yeah. Well, I love a line. I think you talked about it maybe it was like the Sarah and T podcast, where a lot of people get into this about hospitality, right? They want to be hospitality operators. They don't want to be tech. Vendors and all sort of stuff, right? And so one of the things I love about that answer is that I think a lot of people switch up their tech stack in the sense like, oh, well, it's not working and this product isn't fully built out or whatever. But really, in reality, I would say the majority of the percent of the time is that they just don't use or know how to use their current tech stack. So being able to do the in-person stuff, I can imagine, is pretty impactful for the Rented customers and the team.
Yeah, it's so valuable. I mean, there are two sides of that equation. One, to make sure that they're making the most out of it.
Yeah.
Make sure that adoption's there. But there's another side, the oven, the stove that we have at our house. There's never been someone who's been able to use it without having to show them how to use it. It is not intuitive at all. And my father-in-law is a product designer. I was like, it must be so interesting for him to come do this because, an iPhone a baby picks up and they know how to use it. But here I can have a PhD in physics and they'd have no clue how to use this stove.
Yeah.
So there's one side of needing to design better.
Yeah.
So it is more intuitive. But the other side is, look, this is complex software. You're trying to do so many different things. And so you may be able to get it done, but there may be a better way. And that's where this direct connection and really working together helps a lot.
Yeah. Well, I love it. Well, Andrew, thank you so much for taking the time.
Yeah.
It's great to see you. It's great to be in person. And of course, I can't wait for your keynote tomorrow. So for all the live in-person Next and TravelNet, Track, you name it, whatever the title we want to give users that are here, make sure you're here tomorrow morning. And I've been reading the book. I want to give a quick shout out to your book.
Thank you.
Because it's one of the things I actually think about often is my mindset and like what's going on through my mind and how much rent is being used. And so for all the listeners here, where can they find that just to grab a copy if they're ever interested?
Yeah. So it's on Amazon. It's at Barnes & Noble. You can get Kindle Audible, hard copy. And then anytime come to my website, andrewmcconnell.com, and it links out to all those.
Perfect. Well, we'll put it in the show notes. Thank you again, Andrew.
All right. Thank you.
Want to stop juggling spreadsheets, calendars, and a dozen apps just to run your rentals? Logify makes it easy. It's an all-in-one toolkit for hosts. Build a direct booking website, automate guest messaging, and keep all your channels in sync. Running your rental business your way has never been simpler. And for Good Morning Hospitality listeners, you can get 20% off any yearly plan with code GMH20. Just check the link in the show notes to get started today.